welcome back. It's Tate Morgan with the Gambler 500, and I am standing in front of this beautiful $200 Ford Ranger. I introduced you to this project on the last episode. This episode, we're going to focus on performance. So we're going to use some of Seafoam's products. This very old and tired inline Ford didn't have a lot of horsepower from the factory, so we want to make sure we can eke out whatever we can. So the battery was dead. I just threw a charger on it. Let's see if we'll get it to turn over before we start dumping fluids in it. Oh crap! Woo! All sorts of nests and stuff in there. See all the cobwebs and... All right, that was easy. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of fresh fuel in it and then add some of this Seafoam. I picked the high mileage because this thing has about 200,000 miles on it. There must have been all sorts of creatures living in it for the last few years that it hasn't been running. So when you add it to the fuel system, you're adding 1 ounce per gallon of fuel, so I'll probably dump about half this can that's in there. Okay, it helps clean out the fuel system, pistons, all that sort of fun stuff. Okay, and for the rest of this can, I'm gonna add it to the crankcase. It's basically good for breaking down a bunch of sludge and nasty stuff that's can build up inside of your engine. I wouldn't leave it in there for more than probably 50 to 100 miles. I might just let it idle in here for a bit, and then it's good to do oil change. I've already loosened this up, and we figured out which way opens. It opens away from us on the top, so we're gonna position this straw basically so it's right in front of that plate, and we're gonna get all this, basically fog the engine with the top end cleaner. Once you're done positioning it, reattach your intake, and then you can attach this sucker. So we've already got the engine warmed up, so now we can go ahead and start it again, and then start fogging the top end of this motor. So you'll notice if you do this that the motor will start to bog down, and you start adding, it starts getting too much. So what you can do to counteract that, woo! Like I was saying, to counteract that, you wrap it up a little bit, give it a little bit of throttle while you're spraying it in the top end. You'll probably notice you're gonna start getting a little bit of white smoke as you do this. Should take approximately 7 minutes, which makes me wishing I had a piece of tape or something. Model says they want to keep it at 2,000 RPM, which is probably about where we're at. Oh, now the smoke's coming. It's an oddly satisfying thing for anybody who's ever used Seafoam. Okay, after adding Seafoam high mileage to the fuel and into the crankcase, then fogging it with the top end engine cleaner, I'm gonna let it rest. All right, let her sit for about 15-20 minutes. Let's start her up and see how she sounds. It's always good to wrap it up a bit, maybe hit some higher RPMs, maybe warm up the tires. Well, that's probably about enough for the day. We got her running good, we got her cleaned up, we got all internals juices going, so thanks for tuning in for the second episode, and we're stoked to get going on this off-road rat rod Ford Ranger Gambler 500. Later.